I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. After Donald Trump has been repeatedly attacking Fox and Rupert Murdoch, Fox is now platforming Donald Trump's fascism yet again, platforming Donald Trump's big lies yet again, platforming Donald Trump's call for domestic terrorism once again. Donald Trump gave a outrageously vile interview with Sean Hannity. Let's go over what took place, but it really just showcased how utterly despicable, deranged, disgusting, and traitorous Donald Trump is. And you'll see he just further incriminates himself and just how unfit he is to be anywhere near any position of power. And shame on the MAGA Republicans for turning the Republican Party into a cult that worships this utterly disgusting human being. And so, one of the key points of the interview, Donald Trump talks about the reason that he posted a photograph of him with a baseball bat where it depicts him bludgeoning the district attorney, Alvin Bragg. Donald Trump states that the reason he was holding the baseball bat in this photo was because he wanted to promote Made in America. This was about promoting a Made in America baseball bat. Play the clip.
So with all this information that came out in your favor, you talked about death and destruction. And then the baseball bat picture next to Alvin Bragg, and you did take that down. And my only question is, why open yourself up to criticism?
You have to understand that when the story was put up, I put up a story. We didn't see pictures. We put up a story that was very exculpatory, very good story from the standpoint of what we're talking about. And they put up a picture of me. And you know where I was holding the baseball bat? It was at the White House. Make America, Buy America, because I did a lot of Buy America things. And this is a company that makes baseball bats. Then they put next to that picture a picture of Alvin Bragg. I didn't do it. They did it. I guess the people that do the paper or somebody put pictures together, but I was holding a baseball bat in order to promote Made in America.
It wasn't on your post at Truth Social?
No. What they did is we posted the story, but they had a picture up, but they then put a picture up, or the picture was put up that nobody noticed or saw, or that nobody thought was bad. These were two separate pictures. I was promoting Made in America. You make these baseball bats instead of sending over to Japan and China and all other places where they're made. This was a company, good company, that makes baseball bats and other things like that in America. They took that picture from the White House and they put it up, and then they put a picture of Alvin Bragg up.
And look, you can see the photo right here. And this is one of the characteristics that I think is also just so despicable about the MAGA movement. Like, they also don't own their fascism, right? He knew exactly why he was making that post. Yet when he's asked the question, what do? They cower away from it. They can't even own their own fascism. And they go, oh, I was just promoting Made in America. Okay, look, if that's how you feel, if you are a fascist, disgusting, despicable Putin puppet, just own it. Just say exactly who you are rather than be, oh, I don't know, it was just promoting Made in America. The next clip I want to show you, similarly, Donald Trump posted if he were to be criminally charged, the results would be death and destruction, right? He posted on his social media platform, death and destruction. But this is what he said when he was asked about the death and destruction post. Play the clip.
I will say this with death and destruction. I didn't say death and destruction. I said, I'm afraid. Yeah. I said, I'm afraid that if they do this, which is a fake prosecution, where my worst enemies say that he's totally innocent. I mean, I can't believe people that have never been positive to me or defended me, that don't like me, they're on the other side of the world. These are people that said, you can't do this prosecution. It will cause tremendous problems. I didn't say do something bad. I say I am afraid that people will do something because people are very angry about it.
Again, you know exactly what it is you're saying. So if you are a fascist, if you want to be Mr., Emperor, whatever you want to pretend to be, own it. Own it. Here's exactly what you said here. You said, What kind of person can charge another person in this case? A former president of the United States who got more votes than any sitting president in history and leading candidate by far for the Republican Party nomination with a crime, when it is known by all that no crime has been committed, and also known that potential death and destruction in such a false charge could be catastrophic for our country. You're threatening death and destruction. So when you're asked about it, not only are you a traitor, not only are you disgusting, but you're so weak that you can't even admit to what you did. You have to keep on gaslighting. And again, just totally delusional. At this wacko Waco rally that Donald Trump held, which completely off the rails, where horrific to even think about this Waco rally that he gave. But there was probably at most 2,000 people there. Like, there are photographs of it. But here Donald Trump tells Hannity that there were tens of thousands of people that the media said, and no one said that. And then he goes, so that means you can double it. What's he even talking about? Play the clip.
Dishonest people. We're dealing with thugs. We're dealing with people I actually believe that hate our country. Last night I had a rally with tens of thousands of people. Like, the press admitted there were at least 25 or 30,000 people. That means you can double it, at least in Texas, Waco, Texas. And it was like a love fest. It was incredible. And at the same time, these are people that really feel that they've been hurt by the way this country is being run.
So then we get to the point in the interview where Hannity, again, continues to try to lob softballs to Donald Trump. And Hannity says, look, Donald, I can't imagine that you would just take these boxes and then tell people, I want to look at this classified information. And then Donald Trump responds, yeah, I did that. I did that, and I can do that. And then Hannity's like, actually, let's move on. You'll see Hannity's like, let's not talk about that. Then Donald Trump's like, no, I can look at whatever I want to look at because I say so. Again, admitting to the crime, further incriminating himself. And I bet you Jack Smith is watching this. Play the clip.
For decades, I can't imagine you ever saying, bring me some of the boxes that we brought back from the White House. I'd like to look at them. Did you ever do that?
I would have the right to do that. There's nothing wrong with it.
But I know you. I don't think you would do it.
Well, I don't have a lot of time, but I would have the right to do that. Right. I would do that. There'd be nothing
let me
wrong.
move on.
Remember this.
Yeah.
This is the Presidential Records Act. I have the right to take stuff. Do you know that they ended up paying Richard Nixon, I think, $18 million for what he had? They did the Presidential Records Act. I have the right to take stuff. I have the right to look at stuff. But they have the right to talk, and we have the right to talk. This would have all been worked out. All of a sudden, they raided Mar-a-Lago, viciously raided Mar-a-Lago. I have tape, and I gave them tapes. You know, I gave them tapes of storage areas. I gave it to them. I could have held that back. I wasn't holding anything back that I cared about. I gave them tape. But you know the tape they don't want me to reveal? If possible. They've asked me, and I've so far adhered to it. The raid itself.
Wait a minute. I'll take that tape, and I'll air that tape.
Everybody would take that tape.
Here, Donald Trump brags about a song he made with the January 6th insurrectionists, a group that calls himself the J6 Choir, literally terrorists and insurrectionists. He has a song that pays tribute to the, as he calls them, the J6ers, and he's bragging that he's on the Billboard charts with a tribute song for the January 6th terrorists. Play the clip.
By the way, that's on like 3 days.
Are you really beating Taylor Swift, by the way?
Yeah, I did. The J6 is beating Taylor Swift. It's Donald Trump and the J6 prisoners.
The Pledge of Allegiance.
On iTunes and on Amazon and on Billboard, which is the big deal. #1, Donald Trump. So now I feel like Elvis because now we've done The Apprentice. That was a great success. We did. Now I've done a recording or whatever you call it. But no, it was #1. And you know what that is? That's a tribute to the fact that people feel the J6 people have been very unfairly treated.
And by the way, one of the new things that Donald Trump does at his rallies, like he does at the Waco rally, the announcer says, everybody put your hand on your heart and basically pledge allegiance to the J6 anthem. Here, this is what happened in Waco. Play this clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and place your hand over your heart for the #1 song on iTunes, Amazon, and the Billboard charts, Justice for All, featuring President Donald J. Trump and the J6 Choir.
Here, Donald Trump says, why are the lawyers, why are they asking the lawyers all of these questions? I thought that the lawyers don't have to answer any questions. And he again refers to his theft of thousands of government records as the boxes hoax. Here, play the clip.
Think of it. Lawyers, for the first time, I've had lawyers that I've known for a long time calling me. They said, do you think this is changing now, where lawyers all of a sudden are being sued for representing? Lawyers have to come and reveal every conversation with the client. I've got that with the boxes hoax. I'll guarantee you Biden doesn't have it.
And again, here he says that I tell my lawyers who represent me, you're making a mistake representing me. Why would you want to represent me? Here, play this clip.
Lawyers, I always thought they were a little bit sacred territory. In other words, if you're in litigation, the lawyer's never brought in. I have every time somebody wants to represent me and I have a lot of people that want to represent me because they think it's so unfair the way we've all been treated. But they end up getting called before grand juries and stuff. They end up being sued individually. I say sometimes to a lawyer, are you sure you want to represent me? I think you're making a mistake. What do you need it for? I have plenty of people. The good thing is I have plenty of people with great spirit that do want to represent me. And we have some very, very good people.
And here's the thing, when you use lawyers in furtherance of a crime, the relationship's no longer sacred. The relationship is criminal. And as federal judges have said throughout the country at this point, what you were engaged in is a coup in search of a legal theory. You're engaged in criminal conduct and trying to back end, oh, well, this was part of my legal representation. No, you can't use lawyers to commit crimes. You can't use a lawyer to rob a bank. You can have a lawyer defend you when you rob the bank. You can't use the lawyer to rob the bank. You can't use the lawyer to obstruct justice. You can't use the lawyer to steal government records. You can't use the lawyer to come up with a coup plot. That's the distinction. It's called the crime fraud exception. Here's Donald Trump basically spewing Putin propaganda and saying, yeah, Putin's going to send missiles to Kyiv. Here, play this clip.
And these are cities for Ukraine. They were big cities, very big cities. Now, he hasn't really, in Kiev, he hasn't really set the missiles in, but at some point he'll do that one too. There's nothing standing. The other thing is...
And of course, Donald Trump can't help himself. Here he attacks Ron DeSantis. He talks about how DeSantis came to him crying. Play the clip.
So what happened with Ron is the following. He came to see me. He was getting killed. He was being crushed. Adam Putnam, it was over. I have many people that I know that worked for Adam Putnam. They said it was like I hate to use this expression, it was like a nuclear weapon went off when you endorsed, because they considered the race to be over. They had the race. He had millions and millions of dollars, and he was way up in the polls. He was beating Ron by 30 points or so. It was over. Ron came to see me, tears in his eyes. He said, I need you to do me a big favor. First he asked for the meeting, then he asked me for the favor. I said, what's the favor? Would you endorse me? I fought for you. But again, a lot of people fought for me. You fought for me only rightfully, but you fought for me if you thought I was right. Mm-hmm. A lot more than he did. But he said, I need your endorsement. I said, Ron, you're so far behind. I can't imagine that if you got George Washington's endorsement combined with the late great Abraham Lincoln, if you had their endorsements, I don't think you could win, Ron, but tell me about it. Go ahead. He said, I'm telling you, I think I could win if I could get your endorsement. And you'll have to check the records, but many, many, many points. It was over. And the nomination just...
And it was a very close race.
The nomination was just, okay. I said, let's give it a shot, okay? You defended me. Adam Putnam didn't, one way or the other. I think he's probably a nice guy. I never met him until later. A year later, I met him. He said, when you did that, it was like a rocket went up. He said, my race was over. They were already buying furniture for the governor's mansion. They were going to win. So I said, let's give it a shot, Ron, okay? And he was desperate. I said, okay. I gave him a nice endorsement. I said, you write out what you'd like and let me see it. He wrote it out. I thought it was terrible. I changed it, made it great. I gave him a great endorsement. From the moment I pressed that button, he blew the guy away. The race was over.
And finally, as Donald Trump continues to talk about Ron DeSantis, you'll see Fox just basically cuts it off and they go to a break. Play this clip.
Said that means to me that you're going to run.
Right.
And he's going to run, but he's getting crushed now in the polls because he did little things like voting against Social Security, voting against Medicare. His numbers aren't very good on COVID.
More of my interview with former President Trump straight ahead.
So there you have it. Fox further platforming fascism. Fox further platforming Donald Trump's big lies, his conspiracy theories. I'm sure the lawyers for Dominion in their billion-dollar defamation case is hitting record and ready to show this video to the jury that once again Fox is doing this for the ratings, and they're willing to sell out our country in order to prop up fascism, in order to prop up Putin's puppet. Fox, utter traitors. Donald Trump, utter traitors. But when you watch that, to me, the big theme that pervades is just what a coward Donald Trump is. Because he knows exactly what it is he posted about Alvin Bragg over and over again. He knows what he meant when he posted the photo of himself with a baseball bat depicting himself bludgeoning the Manhattan District Attorney who's criminally investigating him. Donald Trump knew exactly what he was doing when he's calling for death and destruction. Yet when he's asked the questions, when he's asked, why'd you do that? He goes, oh, I'm just promoting Made in America. I never called for death and destruction. That is why you are a coward. That is why your fascism is mixed with this weak idiocracy. And the exhausted majority, we all know what a coward you are. We all know what a coward the whole MAGA movement is. All these MAGA Republicans, from Jim Jordan to Matt Gaetz to Marjorie Taylor Greene to Lauren Boebert, all of these fascist clowns, and no offense to clowns, but I'm talking about fascist, weak clowns is who you are. Pathetic, pathetic people. And the pro-democracy community, we're not standing by. We're not standing back at all. We are ready to support our democracy at each and every turn. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We are on our way to 2 million subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button now. Help us get to 2 million subscribers. Also, check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch, patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Also, wherever you get your audio podcasts, just search MeidasTouch Podcast. Download the latest MeidasTouch podcast. I know you will enjoy it. All right, now hit subscribe. Help us get to 2 million subscribers on this YouTube channel. Until next time, I'm Ben Meiselas. Thank you so much for watching.
The best part of waking up? MAGA Tears in my cup. Check out the new MAGA Tears mug available now at store.MeidasTouch.com. That's store.MeidasTouch.com. It's 100% union made right here in the USA. I know I'm not tired of winning yet. How about you? Get yours today.